The following segment is sponsored by Smith Injury Law and 300hurt.com.
You never want to do anything that would hurt your case down the road, your legal case. That's why our next guest and his book are such valuable resources. Richard Smith of Smith Injury Law is here. Good morning.
Good morning, Morgan.
In the book, 10 Critical Mistakes to Avoid If You're Injured in a Car Wreck, one of the areas where people might make a misstep has to do with gaps in treatment. What's so troubling if you've got a client who takes breaks in their medical care after an accident?
Because the insurance company automatically believes that if you have a gap in treatment, that you're no longer injured, and maybe you got injured somewhere else. Maybe you were at home and you fell. Maybe you did something else or were involved in another accident, for example. So it's very difficult to take, quote, a break. You need to have consistent medical treatment, and then you need to be careful not to wait too long to be seen initially from an accident, because insurance companies will take the position that if you wait more than a few days to get treatment, that maybe you're not injured at all, and then they deny your claim entirely. So also when it comes to causation of major injuries, you got to be very careful that you don't have gaps in treatment that make it more difficult to prove your case.
Absolutely. So you've got to seek that medical attention immediately. That's tough to overcome if you don't. Meanwhile, the burden of proof that the accident caused the medical condition is on the plaintiff. So there's not going to be an assumption by anybody that goes in the plaintiff's favor. They really have to cover all their bases.
Absolutely. And you think about it, if you have a broken arm, let's say, in an accident, and you go straight to the emergency room, they x-ray your arm and it's broken, it's not hard to prove that came from the accident as long as your arm wasn't broken before the accident. But let's say you have a back surgery that you need 6-7 months after the accident. Well, you have to have a proof that that surgery was brought about because of the injury you sustained in the accident. Either it caused it or it aggravated your condition that you had pre-existing in the accident. And that's where it becomes a lot more complicated. That's why it's important to have an experienced personal injury attorney on your side to handle those complicated issues.
Absolutely. So simple to prove an accident that broke a bone, but much more complicated if it's a back surgery months down the line. What's your process? What do you need to do to be able to prove those injuries?
Well, the first thing we have to do is we have to get the past 15-year medical history of the client and make sure they haven't had any previous conditions that were already existing before the accident and the accident didn't change it. Then you have to be able to get that evidence and follow it up with letters to their doctors. I do causation questionnaires, get their doctors the records, get their opinion, and if the doctor stands behind you, supports you, then you have a better chance of winning the case than if you have to seek another medical opinion from somebody who's never treated the client.
Well, details on everything we're discussing and more are in your book, 10 Critical Mistakes to Avoid If You're Injured in a Car Wreck, and people can download that book at 300hurt.com. Give us the overall, what are your areas of practice there at Smith Injury Law?
Well, we do automobile accidents, workers' compensation cases, and Social Security disability claims. And that's what I've been doing for over 30 years, both in South Carolina and North Carolina.
We can get in touch with you by calling 300hurt or visit 300hurt.com. Richard Smith, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you. Stay safe.